Today I want to talk to you about the difference between gambling and trading. I need to ask you an uncomfortable question today. Are you trading or are you gambling? And calling it trading because it feels more respectable. I know that question might sting just a little bit if you are actually gambling, but I promise you, by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which one you're doing, and more importantly, you're going to know exactly what it takes to make sure it's the first one instead of gambling. You are actually being a trader. Welcome, I'm Ron Colt, financial coach, trading coach, and life coach. And this channel is built for the new and beginning trader who wants to build real financial freedom the right way. Every week I bring you wisdom on trading psychology, financial structure, and purposeful living, because becoming a great trader starts long before the first trade. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk to you about today is the uncomfortable truth. Most new traders are gambling. They just don't want to admit it. Here's the uncomfortable truth about the difference. Let me say something that might make some people a little uncomfortable. Most new traders are gambling and they don't want to call it that. They call it a hunch, a feeling, a gut instinct. I just had a good feeling about this one. That's not trading, that's gambling with extra steps. Here's the real difference. And it has nothing to do with the stock market versus a casino. A gambler makes a decision based on hope that the dice land right, hope that the cards fall in their favor, hope that this time is different. There is no edge, there is no repeatable process, there is no plan for what happens if it goes wrong. Just hope. A trader makes a decision based on a probability and process. They have studied their setup. They know their entry. They know their exit. They know exactly what they'll do if the trade goes against them before they ever even click the button. The stock market and the casino can produce the exact same outcomes, a win or a loss, but the process behind the outcome is what separates a trader from a gambler. And if you're honest with yourself today, which one have you actually been doing? Hope is not a strategy. If your last trade was based on a feeling instead of a plan, that's worth being honest about. The next thing I want to talk to you about are the 4 signs you're gambling and not trading. Here are 4 signs that what you are calling trading is actually gambling. And be honest with yourself on this one. Let me give you the 4 clear signs. Sign number 1, you do not know your exit. Before you ever click buy or sell, without already knowing where you'll take profit and where you'll cut your losses, you are gambling. A trader defines the exit before the entry every single time. So do that. Sign number 2, you're chasing a feeling. Instead of following a plan, this one feels different. I just have a good feeling about this. If these phrases sound familiar, you're gambling. It's about a feeling and emotion. That's gambling. That's not a process. Feelings are not a strategy. A trader follows a criteria that can be explained, repeated, and tested over time. Sign number 3, you're risking more than you can afford to lose. If a single trade could seriously damage your finances, you're not trading, you are gambling with your life. A trader risks a small, defined percentage of their capital on any single trade, usually 1 to 2%, and sometimes less than that, so that no single outcome can take them out of the game. Sign number 4, you keep going back to win it all back. This is the most dangerous sign of them all. If your last loss made you want to immediately place another trade to get even, that impulse is not trading. That is the exact same impulse that drives a gambler back to the table after losing a blackjack. If any of these four signs sound familiar to you, I want you to hear this with compassion and not judgment. Almost every trader has done at least one of these at some point. The goal is not shame. The goal is to make you aware, because you cannot fix what you refuse to name. So which of these four signs hit the closest? No judgment, just awareness here. That's where change begins. The next thing I want to talk to you about is what makes something a trade instead of a bet. Here's the exact criteria that turns a random bet into a legitimate trade. Write these down. So let's flip this around. What actually makes something a legitimate trade instead of a random bet? Here are the essential elements. Element number one, a defined edge. An edge means you have a reason to believe the probability is in your favor, not certainty, probability. This could be a chart pattern, a fundamental catalyst, a statistical tendency, something you have studied and tested over time that gives you a repeatable advantage in the market. Gamblers don't have an edge. The house always does. Traders study to find their edge. Element number two, a risk management plan. Before you enter, you know exactly how much you're willing to lose. You know your stop loss, you know your position size, you know that no single trade can hurt you badly enough to end your trading career. Element number three, a clear exit strategy. You know where you're taking profits, you know where you're cutting losses, and most importantly, you follow that plan regardless of what your emotions are telling you in the moment. Element number four, a track record. Traders look at their win rate. Traders keep records, their average win versus average loss, their patterns of behavior. Gamblers don't track any of this because deep down, they don't want to see the truth about their behavior. Traders track everything because the truth is how they improve. An edge, a risk plan, a clear exit, a track record, that is what separates a professional from someone rolling the dice and hoping for the best. An edge, a risk plan, a clear exit, a track record, that's the checklist. If your last trade is missing any of these elements, it wasn't actually a trade, it was a bet. The next thing I want to talk to you about is why this distinction matters for your life. This isn't just about your trading account. The gambling mindset bleeds into every area of your life. Here's why this distinction really matters. I want to zoom out for a moment because this isn't just about your trading account. The gambling mindset, if you let it take root, bleeds into every area of your life. If you get comfortable making financial decisions based on hope and feeling instead of process and discipline, that pattern doesn't stay contained to the market. It shows up in how you spend, it shows up in how you save, it shows up in the big decisions that you make in life. When it comes to your career, your relationship, and your future. But the opposite is also true. When you train yourself to trade with an edge, a plan, and discipline, you are training a muscle that transforms every area of your financial life. You start making decisions based on evidence instead of emotion. You start planning instead of hoping. You start building instead of gambling. This is why I always say that trading is a personal development disguised as a financial profession. The market will teach you whether you are becoming a person of process or a person of impulse. And that lesson is worth more than any single trade you will ever place. The way you trade is the way you live. Build the process, build the discipline, watch your whole life change. The next thing I want to talk to you about is trade like a professional and not a gambler. Here's the identity shift. that changes everything about how you approach the market. I want to leave you with this. There is a difference between someone who trades and someone who is a trader. Someone who trades might place hundreds of trades over the course of a year based on feelings and hunches and hope. A trader places far fewer trades, but every single one of them follows a plan, respects risks, and gets recorded and reviewed. The market does not reward activity, it rewards precision and preparation. So here's the identity shift I want you to make today. Stop asking, what trade should I make today? And start asking, does today actually meet the criteria of my plan? Some days the answer will be no, and that's a valid day to not take a trade at all. And that's not a failure. That is exactly what a professional does. Gamblers need action. Traders need a reason. Choose to be the trader, not because it's exciting, but because it's the path to actual lasting freedom. Gamblers need action. Traders need a reason. Which one are you choosing today? And the last thing that I want to talk to you about is our usual financial action step for the week. And for this week, I want you to go back and I want you to review your last 5 trades. For each one, I want you to write down the answers to these questions. Did I know my exit before I entered? Was I following a plan or chasing a feeling? Did I risk an amount I could genuinely afford to lose? Was I trying to win back a previous loss? And be honest about that one, because that one's one that all of us as traders get caught up in. We're trying to make the money back that we lost, and so we get caught in this cycle. And I want to remind you, be gentle with yourself. This is not about judgment. It's about awareness. Because the moment you can see clearly where you've been gambling instead of trading, you can start closing that gap. And as always, if you don't have your $1,000 in a money market account yet, that is where your foundation starts. Remove the pressure that leads to gambling with money you can't afford to lose. And when it comes to investing, remember the framework. 25% large cap mutual funds, 25% mid cap mutual funds, 25% small cap mutual funds, 25% international funds. This is not gambling. This is a diversified, disciplined approach that I have personally used and automated in my own portfolio. I learned this process through the Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. Do not put all of your investment money into the US stock market only. Diversify across global economies. And as always, I am not a licensed financial advisor. Everything I share on this channel is financial education based on my own personal experience, and it is not financial advice. Please consult with a licensed financial advisor before making any major financial decisions. Trade with a plan, invest with a strategy, build with discipline. This is the difference. So, if this video gave you a moment of honest reflection, share it with the trader who needs to hear it, because you never know when you're going to be a benefit to someone and help them to continue to progress on their trading journey. And also hit the subscribe button below for weekly wisdom on trading, money, and purposeful living, built for the new and beginning trader. And drop a comment and be honest. Have you ever caught yourself gambling and called it trading? I love reading every single comment that I've received. And once again, there is no judgment here, only growth. And so until next time, stay disciplined, stay purposeful, and keep forging your own path. I'm Ron Cole, and I'll see you next week.